All right. So welcome back. I'm glad to see you came back to see me again this week. I know we talked briefly last week about confidentiality, so I'm just going to go over it real quick. It is a safe space for you to talk openly, but anything that you feel safe talking about. So if there's anything that just feels a little bit too personal or you don't really feel safe to talk about yet, you can feel free to not answer any questions you don't feel comfortable with. The only thing is if there's any comments about harming yourself or someone else, those are the things I would have to report. But other than that, just anything that you feel comfortable sharing. That being said, anything new since the last time I saw you?
Yeah, I've been arguing with my roommates a lot. We cannot seem to get along about anything. It's just making it really hard to live there, and it's just been really difficult to deal with that 24/7.
Yeah, any issues at home can be really rough because, that's your home base and that's where you're living right now. So you said that there's been some challenges. Who are your roommates? What is that situation like?
Yeah, so I have two roommates. I met them my freshman year of college. We're all graduated now, so I've known them for quite a while. We thought it would be a great idea for us to move in together because we've been friends for so long and we thought we knew how we would get along, but it just hasn't been that way at all. It's the first 4 months that were really good, and the past two have just not been um, like good at all.
Yeah. So it sounds like there was kind of a shift. You said it was good at first, but now not so much. What do you think has changed?
So my roommate got a cat without telling us, and she's not being very responsible with the animal, not really cleaning up after it, and it just seems like she got it on a whim, and I just feel like really bad for the cat. So I tried to express that to her, and she didn't take that well, and like we can't agree on chores when everyone's turn to do them. So everything's kind of just been piling up, and we're kind of just like exploding on each other really right now.
Yeah, that sounds rough. It's never fun to be in conflict with people, especially in your home. You said that she got a cat without telling you. Um, was there any kind of conversation about animals or any kind of roommate rules or anything like that?
Yeah, so I mean, me and my other roommate, we both love animals. I mean, we all do. We just wanted to make sure that we were all involved in the decision, even if it was going to be like one of the roommates' cats. We just wanted to like know before they got it, just as a heads up. So we kind of discussed that when we were talking about pets. She just kind of went and came back with a cat one weekend.
Yeah. So it sounds like the issue isn't really the animal itself, it's that she didn't communicate that with anyone.
Yeah, that is something that really bothered me.
And have you felt like you can voice any of those concerns? I know you said you talked to her about it, but it didn't go well. What happened in that conversation?
Yeah, I actually didn't think of talking to her about that. I mostly just talked about how she wasn't cleaning up after the cat, and um, I never really thought about talking about prior roommate rules.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, that's still very frustrating. So when you talk about having issues with cleaning, is there any kind of chore guidelines or anything like that?
No, we don't have that.
No. Okay. And does your other roommate, is there the same issues with the other roommate? What is the other roommate thinking?
Yeah, my other roommate, she doesn't clean up after herself. Like none of us were kind of being a little bit petty about it. We're kind of only doing our own dishes and not helping around. Like we're only taking care of ourselves, and we just aren't like we're friends, and we're not acting like that right now. We're all acting like it's just our house.
Yeah. That sounds really frustrating. And I know it can also be hard sometimes to start those conversations, especially if you've already been living together for a while, to start, a new conversation, or now to start a chore log. Um, but what would you like to do from here on out? What do you think will kind of help this situation?
Well, I think I want to have a conversation about like the roommate rules and talk about how I kind of feel hurt that she didn't tell us about the cat as we previously discussed, because maybe she'll receive that better. And maybe we could talk about like an agreement again so that when we have conflicts, we can figure it out. I'm not really sure how to have that conversation though.
Yeah. Have you guys had any similar conversations like this in the past?
No, honestly, we've all just been ignoring each other.
So it sounds like communication is definitely part of the issue, cleanliness as well as the communication.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Well, that's definitely a big issue, and I definitely want to dive into it a little bit more. Just kind of what's all going on there, as well as some maybe problem solving ways we can start that conversation, as well as maybe some good tips on, you know, how to organize a chore chart or how to kind of go about that. Unfortunately, we are a little bit out of time today, but I would like to continue this discussion with you next week if you're open to it.
Definitely.
All right, sounds good. Well, thank you for coming in and talking to me this week.
Thank you.